Traditionally, the last book of the Christian Bible, the Revelation, is thought to have been written by John the Apostle several decades after the death of Jesus. Over the centuries, many interpretations and explanation of John's entrancing vision have been proposed. Biblical scholars point out the obvious similarities to the writings of Old Testament prophets, such as Daniel. Historians emphasize the political and social context of the Revelation as a vision of hope for the persecuted and despairing followers of Jesus who desired his return and the overthrow of an oppressive Roman Empire. In recent decades, the apocalyptic aspects of the Revelation have become predominant amongst fundamentalist Christians, expecting Armageddon and the end of time as we know it. The 20th century Christian mystic, Edgar Cayce, acknowledged the multiple layers of meaning inherent in John's story, but chose to emphasize the personal, transformational potential of the Revelation. In Cayce's version of the Revelation, John's visionary experience was a dreamlike, altered state of consciousness. Edgar Cayce tells us that the disciple Peter, a close friend and associate of John, had already died. Peter kept his promise to come back to John after death, and it is Peter that is speaking to John in this vision. Furthermore, Cayce insists that John's vision is about enlightenment, spiritual initiation through purification. In this regard, you may notice some striking similarities to some of the Eastern religions and philosophies that utilize spiritual practices such as purification, meditation, and right living as aids to enlightenment. In essence, Cayce's approach to the Revelation can be viewed as a Judeo-Christian model of enlightenment. Cayce's interpretation is embedded in a grand cosmology that documents the journey of the soul through materiality. John's Revelation symbolically describes the soul's rebellion and flight from its spiritual source, eventually becoming entangled in flesh bodies on planet Earth. I have documented Cayce's cosmology and its relationship to John's Revelation in a series of videos that you may find helpful as a conceptual prelude to the analysis of the Revelation itself. The Cayce approach focuses on the archetypal symbols in the Revelation as representative of internal, spiritual processes of the individual soul. Thus, the 7 seals are spiritual centers by which the soul connects to the physical body. The various beasts represent the mental and emotional forces that war within the psyche of each individual. The New Jerusalem represents our evolutionary destiny of reunion with our divine source. The videos that follow will discuss and describe Cayce's approach in a survey fashion that focuses on the major themes of John's vision in a chapter-by-chapter sequence. Since Edgar Cayce and those who sought readings from him on the Revelation relied primarily on the King James Version of the Bible as a resource, you may find it helpful to obtain a copy and follow along as you view each segment.